One of the things that we have is change all the time, and right now it's a time for transition. You've planted seeds, and you've done work, and you've had insights, and you've had understandings about yourself. And you now have responsibility to put them into your life. So there's not a course and then it's over. This is the beginning of your course. And so it's like the course in life after YDC. And so to know that, that you've already made a change in direction. So you're stepping out and you don't want to go back. Your life is determined by your needs and the influences you bring to it and your desires. So the next step is yours. The next step. And this is a little practice time. It's so immediate and fulfilling here, but there's also something else in your life that can hold you and attract you and attaches itself to you. So it's good to know that this process of self-development is never ending. If you look at the world and you keep looking at the things that we drag ourselves back into, like war after war after war, and you think of all the technology and all of the research and the achievements that we've accomplished, but still, to change our own lives requires quite a lot of effort, to change the way the world lives together. But if 30 people go out with the light, very positively, bringing light to every situation, then that's going to make a difference. And if you just even think during the day of the light, what you're doing, why you're doing it, who's doing it. So these new understandings can be brought right into everything that you do, everything. And that's the beauty of changing your mind, because it's not something that you have to maneuver out there. It's just that you can develop peace within yourself. And that's going to have an effect. The light will shine through. So it's like every one of us is in that changing place always, because change is so constant. I mean, one day, weather is an excellent example. It just makes us practice. And some days we have sun and rain in the same day, and then the next day we have, can't see the mountains or the lake. But that's the way the weather is, and that's the way our lives are sometimes. It's like, are we going to accept the challenge? And the moment that you do, you're going to get the next challenge. And so your spiritual development depends on how you adapt to change, really, because that's what it is. And the more we practice it, the better we get. And the more responsibility we have to take for that. So you can see, some very dramatic events can happen in your life. And some people recognize them as next steps, as part of their path of learning, of taking it in and using it. Because every single one of us has had something happen that we didn't want to or didn't expect or was fearful or was upsetting. But how we deal with that is going to take us to the limitations or to the illuminations. Because if it can illuminate something about human beings, about yourself, if you come to know yourself more, then you're going to understand others more. So it seems like every chance we get, we're given those opportunities to accept the challenge. Or why would they come? Whenever you do make a change, like it's not just on one level. You've been doing the light, you've been doing practices. Those have gone into a cellular level in your body. I mean, you're radiating light and mantra now. And if you keep it up, it becomes stronger. You know, sometimes you'll think that you've just reached the stage where everything, you're going along and the ideal is in place and you're living it. And those are the times where all these other crises come into your life because you're changing. And there's something else that's changing in you and something else that's changing around you. And also you're ready to keep bringing things up that were hidden and were burdensome. So the unconscious is always looking for those opportunities. When you're filled with light, to let something bubble up and say, okay, you're ready to look at this now. You're ready to let it go. You're freer. And the more you can accept the change, then the more peaceful you can become. And so you have to accept where you are, and you have to go as far as you can. And it's like going to school or taking some higher level course. If you want your PhD, you have to put in the work. You have to be determined. It's very rigorous. You have to do all of your papers. You have to do all of your reflections and your practices. You probably had people you know who spent all of their time at work or making money or traveling or whatever. But what is it? How much would you put into your spiritual life? And would you be willing to accept the challenge to do that? So this could be a room of PhDs in spiritual life. So it's like constant study, going back to read what did those people do? Constant practice, constant selfless service, renunciation. Because when you get to the end, you don't want to have any regrets that you saw how wonderful you were and you didn't hold on to it. You saw the illumination through the light and you forgot that it was you. You went and turned to someone else. So the whole path is encouraging you to become who you are. And you're going to meet that old self. And what are you going to say to it? How are you going to bring it into the present? How are you going to challenge it? To say, remember the Wadi Sea, that wonderful moment. And that's what it is. That's what Swami Radhananda said. It's glimpses of a mystical affair. It's not the great ba-boom kind of thing often. It's just that wonderful understanding of how great it is to know about the light, to know about yourself and your ability to carry it. So that's what you are from now on. Little candles of light going out. So the challenge is to keep on changing because you have changed and you've seen what it takes. And the support is there to keep on. Om Namah Shivaya.